Hello and welcome to CEAZOR Snack Sandwich. Today I'm taking a look at Jones DAO. Now this is a pretty interesting name. I think it's a pretty cool project. I kind of like it. It's kind of like an options yield aggregator. It's a way for people to participate in options but not actually have to do anything, right? So to basically give your money to people to manage to speculate on options and to kind of make money from the options markets. So that's what we have here. I'm going to go through the docs and point out a few things that I've picked up reading the docs. I'm not particularly excited about this project, but I did read through it all today, so I figured I would share it and share what I did find out about it. And there are some good things inside here, but there are some things that are, to me, they're kind of flags. But anyhow, let's go through it and you'll understand what I'm talking about as I point out things to you. So first thing is it's on Arbitrum and it's basically dealing with options. Okay, so if you go to vaults here, they have an ETH vault and they have a GOM vault. So they're going to, you put your ETH here or you put your stake GOM here and you're going to get some APY when they start figuring out how to make the APY with it. Okay, so how are they going to do that? Let's go over to the docs and talk about these vaults. Okay, they have two major vaults and one is a kind of primary vault, which is going to be safer or more conservative, and then they have this auxiliary vaults, which will be more directional, aggressive, and more about option strategies. Maybe a little bit more what I would call gambling, what other people would call trading, right? So anyhow, that's the two kinds of vaults. But these primary vaults are the key things about this package. And the first thing they're going to do is they're going to mint you a J asset. So a vault token. You put your money inside the vault, you get back a token, and then that token is a DeFi legable use token. So you could take that to other protocols when those protocols support that token and use it for other opportunities. So you can have your ETH in here earning 11%, and then you can take your, maybe it'll call JETH, right? JETH token somewhere else and maybe borrow against it and use it in DeFi and that so forth, okay? And I do talk about that inside when I get into this other parts over here. So anyhow, so what are they going to do with your ETH when they put it inside there? They're going to basically covered calls. So they're going to supply your ETH to other platforms that give out call options. So I've done some videos on Dopex and I did a video on Premia. You can watch those videos. I'll put links to them at the end of here. And it's basically for people who don't want to use those, they can put their money here and then these people will do that for you, okay? But there is some interesting part here, and that is 5% of the funds will be used to hedge via purchasing calls, puts, and perps. So they're going to take 5% of the funds that they use to cover these call options, and they're going to speculate with them on purchasing calls, so they're going to make some bets on your behalf with the money inside that vault. So this kind of, to me, maybe it's good. Maybe it's going to be great, right? It might be awesome. The APYs might be fantastic. They might have a super good track record, and it is only 5%. But to me, I'm so used to Yearn, where it's like lossless. You can never lose your ETH if you put it into Yearn unless the place gets hacked, right? I'm so used to these kind of strategies that this kind of comes off to me as a little bit risky, right? But anyways, even just putting in covered calls, you have the chance of losing, right? If ETH goes parabolic and so forth, okay? So let's go down here. So you have auxiliary vaults. I already did this. So down. So deposits. This is interesting. So if you go to the vaults here and you wanted to deposit in them, you can see that they're grayed out right now. You can't deposit. There's a window, a time window. So you can only deposit at a certain time when they unlock. So they unlock the vaults, they hold them unlocked for a while for people to put in your money, and then they lock the vault up again. Now you can't put money in, you can't take money out. I think maybe you can take it. It doesn't quite say if you can take it out at any time. But anyways, this is the flag here. The vault sends assets to Jones DAO Active Management Multisig wallet. So there's no strategy. There's no on-chain verifiable strategy. It's just you put your money in the vault. They give you the vault token, and then your money is sent to these multisig guys to basically do options trading for you, right? Which kind of like, I can make that sound really bad, or I can make it sound like, oh, good. So that's up to you to decide if you believe in that or not. So what I did was I did go through here and I did find out like, who is this multi-sig? Like, who are the multi-sig? And it's these 5 guys, and they only need 3 of them to sign. So you have to trust at least 3 of these 5 guys. Well, you have to trust them all, but only 3 of them need to sign a transaction to send it out. So I went through and I scrolled down through some of their Twitters. You might want to go through their Twitter, find out what they're talking about. Most of them are, interacting with Dopex. I see some Dopex this. Go through these, go down through these, check out these people, maybe even like hit them up, message them and stuff, and find out like who these people are. Because these are the people who you're basically trusting your money to. And but they do seem to be dialed into DeFi to some extent. When you go down through here, they are interacting with. You do see the taste of DeFi, so it's not like they're newbies who have no idea about DeFi. They are, they're. I don't know any of these guys, but they do interact with crypto Twitter and DeFi crypto Twitter to be specific. Okay, so that's so you put your money in, it gets locked up for a little bit. It sends your money to these 5 guys. They do their strategy with your money, and then they send the profits back to the vault. And it is on chain, so you can verify that, the multi-sig is sending all of the money back if you want to do that, and they're not pinching, right? And then, if you don't withdraw during that window of withdrawal time, then your money is rolled over into the next epoch. So that's a good thing. You don't have to keep coming back to manage this position, right? The next part here I want to talk about is the protocol fees. The protocol fees are pretty exuberant. Like, these are on par with Yearn Finance protocol fees, which are, also quite high, but like 2% on TVL, that's like 2% of the assets under management, and 20% performance on all generated yield. Okay. So it doesn't exactly say where these fees are going, right? It just says those are the fees, right? And then there is the tokenomics about this Jones token. Like, I did see that they are having a sale here. It says coming soon, get on the list, try to get the sale. You can join the sale maybe. So it does say sale's not open. Anyways, it does, it's coming soon. So you can look into this if you're interested in getting on this, pre-sale or sale of these tokens, and find out more. And basically what the Jones token claims to be is like a governance token, but with the governance over these aspects, right? But it's still like election of new strategies. Like, I would think it's gonna be, you're gonna have to convince those 5 guys that this is a good strategy, and then they're gonna do it, right? So anyhow, but this is important. They're going to use the Jones token to direct it towards liquidity pools for asset versus J asset. This is interesting. So even though you're locked into the position, you will be able to exit at any time, because there will be JETH versus ETH liquidity pools, and they'll be incentivized with these Jones token emissions. So then, it becomes liquidable. You can get in and out whenever you want, right? Through these liquidity pools. And if they build these liquidity pools up quite a bit, then they might be able to get these J assets onto lending platforms. They do talk about maybe such as Meme or Frax, or I don't know, getting other protocols to recognize these as potentially collateral or something like that. They talk about giving strategists Jones tokens. So if you go to the community, if you're an options trader and you have an option strategy, you might be able to interact with them and get some of these Jones tokens that way. And then they talk here about VE Jones, and you're earning a portion of the protocol fees. Now, it doesn't quite say what the portion is, but it's going to be a piece of this big chunk that they're taking here. Okay. And then, you can go through here and find out like, how much tokens and stuff. And you do this. This is your homework. If you want to invest in pre-sale or not, that's up to you. So that's pretty much it. That's the bulk of what I found and what kind of interested me about this protocol and so forth. And that's it. So thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.